Hi, Aptituders. I recently attended the Google Apps for Education Summit in Raleigh, North Carolina, and went to a great session with Molly Schroeder, certified Google teacher and Google Ninja, about using Google Forms to formatively assess my students in a fast and efficient way. So I'm going to show you how to create a form to use as a formative assessment. First thing you do is you go to the start page, you click on your Google Docs icon. That's going to take me into my drive, and I'm going to hit this create button because today we are going to create a form. Alright, I've been using Google Forms to create entrance and exit tickets for my students in 4th and 5th. The great thing about creating an entrance ticket template and an exit ticket template in Forms is that you can use the same entrance ticket and exit ticket template over the course of several weeks, months, or even the entire year to gather information from your students that you don't have to continually recreate your entrance and exit tickets. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to call this exit ticket aptitude, and I always use the default theme. So I'm going to hit OK. Here you go. There's your basic form template. First things first, up here it says require Arlington Public School login to view this form. I always uncheck this box just to simplify the process and eliminate a few steps for my kids. Okay, so for my exit tickets, I use a 3-question reflective strategy. What, so what, now what? Okay, so my first question is what, and my help text is what did you learn today? When you get your question types, you have various options from paragraph text, shorter text, multiple choice, checkboxes. I'm going to choose paragraph text because I want my kids to have a little bit of room to express their thoughts. I'm going to check this box because I want this to be a required question. So I'm going to hit done for that. Next, I'm going to add my second item. My second question is so what? Question mark. My help text is why was this useful or important? How will this help you as a reader or writer? And I'm also going to make this paragraph text and make that a required question. Done. And I'm going to add a third item here. Third question is so what? So what are you still wondering about? Where should we go from here? Again, paragraph text, required question. Done. Okay, so I have my 3 questions, but I also want to be able to link a name to the responses. So I'm going to add one more item. I'm going to say, what is your name? And I'm going to just make that a text box because they don't need as much room for that, and that will also be a required response. Done. Now, that's at the bottom. I prefer for them to have to answer that at the beginning, so I'm going to move that question up to the top here. There you go. So what is your name is now at the top. All right, so down at the bottom we have 3 options. I am going to keep the show link to submit another response option checked because that way if they make a mistake they can go in and submit another response. But these other 2 options, publish and show a link to the results of this form to all respondents, I'm not going to use that because typically it's sent via email. And the third one, allow responders to edit responses after submitting. I don't think that's necessary, so I'm going to uncheck that. Once I'm ready to activate my form, I hit send form, and they're going to give me a URL that I can share with my students. Here's a trick I learned at the summit. You can go to Google's URL shortener and put in a long URL, and they will shorten it for you, just as long as you're willing to prove that you are not a cyborg. So let me enter these numbers, 2809 255 2223. Okay. And I have passed the cyborg test. And now there's my shorter URL that I can either directly share with my students, put it on the smartboard, for example, or I can just copy it here. And let me show you how, now that I have the link, once we go to another page, if I put the link in, it'll take me right to my Google form here. So I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions quickly so that you can see what the responses look like. So what is your name? Josh. What did you learn today? I learned how to create a formative assessment using Google Forms. Why was this useful or important? Let's see. This will help. This will help me gather formative assessment data in a more efficient way. And what am I still wondering about? How do I access the responses? Okay, so there we go. I'm going to hit submit. And now if we go back over to my template, you can see that up at the top there's a tab that says responses. If I click that, I can go to a summary of responses, where now I have my name and my 3 responses. But you can also look at that as a spreadsheet. And so if you have a number of responses and you decide you want to view your responses here, there you go. There are my responses as a spreadsheet. The great thing about this is that it just organizes the responses for each student. You can go in and you can see where they are in terms of their understanding. And then, once you feel like you've gotten the information you need to inform your instruction, you can clear this data, and then it's then blank, empty again, and the following day they can use the same template to submit their responses after the next lesson. So right here we would go delete all responses when we wanted to do that. Okay, so that's how you create a formative assessment using Google Forms. In the next video, I will show you a cool way that you can give the form a permanent home right on the iPad, so it's very easy for the kids to access, and also how you can take a form and embed it in a couple other different locations. Okay, talk to you next time.